This week we're going to continue talking about solving quadratics. Again, it's a little bit of a review. We have three different methods that we know how to solve: factoring, completing the square, and the quadratic formula. So we're going to solve this same exact problem using each of the three different ways. So for factoring, what we want to do is we want to set it equal to 0. So we're going to get x squared plus 6x. If I subtract 6 from both sides, 14 minus 6 is 8, equals 0. Now once it's set equal to 0, I'm going to make the box. That's to help with my organization. And we're going to put in the first term in the upper left, the bottom one here at 8. Then we're going to multiply those two. This is just exactly what we just did in the lesson yesterday. This middle term goes on the bottom, and then we play the game. What multiplies to 8x that we can get a 6 out of? How about 4x and 2x? 4 times 2 is 8x squared. 4 plus 2 is 6. Once we have those numbers figured out, we fill in the box, and then we start going like this. X, okay, make box. Use the diamond. I'm putting the little steps in here. The diamond is this step right here, and then find the factors. That's what I'm doing in orange, finding the factors. X times x makes x squared. X times what makes 2x? That would be a 2. What makes 4x? That would be a 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So then these are our terms right here, and they're all positive, so we get x plus 4, x plus 2 equals 0, and then we're going to use the zero product property, P-R-O-P, zero product property. We're going to set each of these equal to 0, x plus 4 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0, and you get subtract 4, x equals negative 4, subtract 2, x equals negative 2. So those are our two answers. And remember, if I were to graph this, that means this quadratic equation would touch the x-axis at negative 4 and negative 2. Okay, let's solve this exact same problem, completing the square. Okay, we have x squared plus 6x plus 14 equals 6. The first thing is we're going to open up that space, like where the C is, and we're going to subtract the 14 from both sides. You're going to get x squared plus 6x equals negative 8. The second thing, we're going to add half of b squared to both sides. Half of this is 3. 3 squared is 9, so add 9 here, add 9 here. Then I'm going to simplify. You're going to get something in parentheses squared equals a number. Well, my number over here is 1, and this is x. I'm going to put a 3, that half number, and then because this first term is positive, I'm going to put a plus. And then we're going to, step 4, take the square root. Okay, I'm going to take the square root of each side, the square root of this side and the square root of this side. And so when you take the square root of a square, you just get whatever's in there. And that's positive or negative, and the square root of 1 is 1. So that means I'm going to get x plus 3 equals 1, and x plus 3 equals negative 1. I have to solve each of those. When I subtract 3 here, we get x equals negative 2. And when I subtract 3 here, I get x equals negative 1 and negative 4. So do you see how I got negative 2 and negative 4? Well, good thing, because that's what I got in the first one as well. And now we're going to solve the same problem, the exact same problem, using the quadratic formula. So x squared plus 6x plus 14 equals 6. First thing you're going to do is set equal to 0. So we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. X squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. 2, you're going to label A, B, and C. So A equals 1, B equals 6, and C equals 8. You're going to just plug into the quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. That's going to give you your x value. And then the fourth thing is going to be to solve. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to get negative b, my b is 6, plus or minus the square root of 6 squared, b squared, minus 4 times a is 1, and c is 8, divided by 2 times 1. Okay, so I plugged it in. Now I'm going to solve it. Negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 32. 4 times 8 is 32, divided by 2. That's negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 4, divided by 2. So square root of 4 is 2, so I have negative 6 plus 2 divided by 2, negative 6 minus 2 divided by 2. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And then this is negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Notice I got the same answers, negative 2 and negative 4. So here's the processes written for you on the left as a reminder. And then your homework is page 10. And notice, please solve these three, practice your factoring. The middle one solve by completing the square, and the last one use the quadratic formula.